Good morning, sunshine. I'm feeling a little yellow today, as if you can't tell. Good morning, moms. I am excited to be back with you for our third day, Mom Spiration number 3. Um, Super excited to share this morning about just how faith has impacted my life. But Mom Spiration number 3 from my book, you heard it, Mom Spiration. Inspire your children to pursue their dreams as you pursue your own. So we're going to talk about today letting our children see our faith. Now you may say, and I know everyone in our group is not a Christian. I am. And so any content you get from me is going to include my faith because it's in me. It's part of my DNA. So you get what you get. That's who Karla is. She's a believer. So I want to talk about sharing our faith with our children and how important it is that they see us use our faith. Now, I'm not talking about, okay, I take my children to church, or we pray before meals, or I pray for their boo-boos, or just little things like that are laced throughout our life. But I'm talking about our children seeing us walk in faith, share our faith, and maybe the challenges that we're going through and how we're using our faith. So I'll give you a couple examples. I remember, let's see, it was probably about maybe 8 years ago. I remember sitting in the living room, and we're just kind of shooting the breeze and talking to our kids, and the kids started talking about their dad praying. Now, let me tell you, my husband is one of the most faithful men of prayer that I've ever known. I mean, having been married to this man for almost 24 years next month, I can honestly say there have been very, very few days in our lives together that he has not started with prayer. And he's very bold about prayer. He's very bold about his faith. And so we were sitting and talking with our kids, and they were like, yeah, we hear Dad every morning. He wakes us up every morning praying. And we can't get back to sleep. And they're kind of joking. And I'm thinking to myself, do they think that I don't pray? Do they think that their dad is the only one that is praying, that is covering our household on a daily basis? And I thought to myself, I've always been very, very quiet when it came to my prayer. And I'm not saying you have to be all boisterous and loud. What I'm saying is they didn't see me doing it. And, I began to question whether or not they knew that I was praying as well, that daily I was covering and bathing my household, my children, our protection in prayer every single day, throughout the day. But I hadn't done it in front of them. It was always very, my prayer closet has always been really intimate to me. And so it was at that point, and I write about this in the book, that I decided I needed to let them see me pray. Not just, over a meal, or not just, praying over their boo-boos or something like that, but they needed to see and hear their mother pray. Wasn't that I wasn't doing it. It's just that I was very private about it, because that's the way that I initially, as a single Christian young woman, developed my prayer life. It was very quiet, intimate, private moment between me and God. And I had to say, whoa, wait a second. My kids need to see this. They need to hear this. They need to know that Mom is also bathing her family in prayer every morning. So anyway, that was an aha moment for me, because they had pointed out that their father woke them up every morning praying. And I'm thinking, whoa, I don't know. Then my kids know that I am also praying. So I made sure that they knew that and that they experienced that. And so my worship time, they hear me in worship time. They hear me in prayer. And again, I'm not doing it so that they hear it, but I'm not hiding it either, or I'm not keeping it, in my prayer closet, so to speak. And so that's one way of making sure that our kids see our faith. They need to see it. In other ways that our children can see our faith is us using our faith. When we have challenges, and we all have them, when things, arise and we need to use our faith and we need to trust God for things, they need to see us do that, because they need to see that they have that same power and that same authority in prayer to be able to pray over situations in their lives as they grow and mature in their relationship with God. So these are all the kinds of things that I began to think about. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, so there are some things obviously you don't share with your kids. You're not trying to cause anxiety or fear when challenges arise. But at the same time, it's important for them to be a part of the faith process, or using their own faith for things in situations in their lives that affect them. So if your household is dealing with a challenge, allow your children to be part of that faith building moment to see God move in that area. So just those kinds of things our kids need to see in motion. They need to see them happening, because a lot of times we talk about things, and I said this yesterday in yesterday's Mom Spiration, that our kids, and I told you about the poll that I did of adults, our kids see more than they hear what we say. They see what we're doing more than they hear what we're saying. And prayer and your faith is something that is more caught than it is taught in a lot of instances, because we probably have all known people that have said one thing and done another. So our kids need to see us walk things out in faith. When they see that, they recognize how God moves. They see God move in their life and in your life and in your family's life. They see God move in other people's lives. And so they can have that same confidence when they pray and when they stand in faith for things for themselves. So that's today's Mom Spiration. Number 3, let them see your faith. Very, very important. It's a short one today, but I wanted to share that with you because my faith is very important to me. It's very important to how we raise our children, how we live our life, how we pursue our dreams, that we don't do anything outside of the realm of God. And so I just wanted to share that with you today, that it's important that our kids witness that faith building action and conversation and living in their everyday life, so that they know how to do that for themselves. There was one, I'll give you an example. One day, one of my children was having a physical ailment, and it wasn't the first time that this child had had this physical ailment, and it was a very easy fix. It was something that they could do on a daily basis to relieve this physical ailment, right? But they just refused to do it. And so they kept coming to me in prayer, for prayer about it. And I said, you know what? Mom does not mind praying with you. Mom does not mind praying over you. But it is important that we use wisdom, and that we treat our bodies well, so that we don't have those recurring issues over and over. And so, and then I also explained to them, you do know that the same power that Mom has in prayer, you have. I don't mind praying for you. I will pray with you. I will stand with you. I will push back, the gates of the enemy for you in any circumstance. But I will definitely make sure that you know how to pray, and that you know that you have that same power and authority in prayer to be able to pray over yourself and other people as well. And so that's just an example of how we share with our kids, and how we allow them to observe more than just listen to us telling them what to do. So I hope that was beneficial to you. I hope that was helpful. Again, I was a minister of the gospel and didn't even realize that my kids didn't know that prayer was a part of my daily life. And it has been since I was 15 years old. And so, and it wasn't that I was hiding it. It's just that it was a very private moment for me. And so I kind of kept that to myself. I would teach them about prayer. I would talk to them about prayer. But they needed to see. They needed to hear. They needed to observe. How does that fit into a person's everyday life? What does that look like? So I was determined to make sure that my kids knew what that looked like in an everyday living situation. So, number 3, let your kids see your faith. Not just hear about it, not just go to church, but let them see faith operating in you, through you, and around you every single day. And your kids will learn how to do it for themselves. So, that's it today. Hope that was a good nugget for you this morning. Let them see your faith, and I will see you ladies tomorrow. Bye.